Good morning. Lawsuits are being filed from both sides of the aisle as the midterm election recounts continue.
I was calm this morning, but a storm system is brewing and it starts in the Gulf of Mexico. This area of low pressure brings us a cold front that'll produce a chance of rain overnight, but then colder air on the backside. We'll be feeling temperatures in the 40s come Saturday morning.
All is looking quiet on our interstates, but we do have a couple of minor crashes out there. I'll get you a full report coming up.
Overcrowding on one side of the county and undercrowding on the other, with 3 Pasco County schools hanging in the balance.
And a UK company is getting major backlash after releasing a celebrity doll, but fans say this doll looks nothing like the celebrity. Good morning, I'm Aubrey Jackson.
And I'm Candace Avila.
I'm Rob Finnerty. It is a Wednesday morning, November the 14th. Brightside starts right now. Good morning and thanks for being with us here on Brightside. 34 hours and counting. That's all the time election officials have left to finish the recount by the Thursday 3 o'clock deadline. In Palm Beach County, older machines just erased more than a day's worth of recounting.
Adding to all of this, both parties are filing recount lawsuits. 10 News' Josh Dorwitz has what you need to know.
Let's start here in Tampa Bay. Governor Rick Scott's campaign is suing the Hillsborough County Supervisor of Elections. The beef? Campaign observers from both parties are being kept behind glass, saying they're not allowed into the recount room. But as far as we can tell, state law says representatives are only allowed in the room during a manual recount. On the flip side, Senator Bill Nelson's campaign filing 2 lawsuits. One is to extend the deadlines for recounts statewide. The other is challenging the rules for how workers determine voter intent on a disputed ballot, arguing the current rules are inconsistent. And more Democrats are calling on Governor Rick Scott to recuse himself from the recount process.
We Democrats are prepared to live with the verdict of the Florida voters. But the Republicans seem to be doing everything they can to stifle the voice of Florida voters.
Finally, in Palm Beach County, a judge has suspended the recount deadlines in the governor's race and the agricultural commissioner's race until at least Monday. The county supervisor of elections continues to blame outdated equipment for the slow count. But the U.S. Senate race recount in that county still has to be done by this Thursday.
All right, so right now, Pinellas, Pasco, and Citrus counties say they're finished with their recounts. The rest of our Bay Area counties say they will meet Thursday's 3 o'clock deadline.
Now, we know you will live busy lives, so we will let you know what comes out of tomorrow's unofficial results. Just download our free 10 News app.
All calm across the Bay Area this morning. We have a few clouds to see, not one of those crystal clear, beautiful blue skies start to the day, but we will have a fair amount of dry weather, at least through a good majority of the day. Looking at temperatures and conditions around the area, Tampa 74, a little bit of cloud cover around, reporting clear skies in St. Pete at 75. So variably cloudy conditions where sometimes you have some clouds, sometimes clear skies. We'll see a fair amount of that mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. Notice more rain out over the central Gulf of Mexico up towards the central Gulf Coast. That's associated with a storm system that it will be developing throughout the day today. Eventually, it'll be bringing us our better chance of rain through the back half of the day. So through the latter part of the afternoon into the evening, plan on some showers developing. In the meantime, we're waiting on high temperatures once again to return to the mid-80s before a big cool down later this week.
It is 5:03. I'm Hillary Zala, and it is Wednesday. Good morning to you. We're starting off the morning with a crash here on 275 right at Del Mabry Highway. So, well, just before it. And it looks like it's off to the side, so not blocking any main lanes. No injuries reported either. And I want to show you a live look at 275 north of Tampa. So right at Bush Boulevard. Traffic heading south hasn't picked up just yet. Your travel time is a solid 15 minutes from the north apex down to I-4.
All right, Hillary, 3 after the hour right now. Parents, if you have students in Pasco County schools, this next story could affect you. The district wants to close at least 3 schools over the next 3 years in that county, and this could affect your child. And Brightside's Emerald Morrow has been on top of this story for a while now. Emerald, the question that everyone's asking is, why does a district want to do something like this?
Well, Rob, apparently this all has to do with low enrollment, and there may be a lot of wasted resources, but the one thing that the district wants to be clear about is that this in no way is a reflection of the teachers or staff in these particular schools. So what schools are we talking about? All of them are elementary schools: Hudson Elementary, Lacoochee and Dade City, and Locke and Elfers. And school officials say on top of low enrollment, there are issues with student achievement that they want to work on. They also struggle with return on investment in terms of spending on facility upgrades.
It costs the same to run an elementary school with 300 students as it does with 800 students. So we have to, in addition to looking at what's best for the students, look at what's best for the taxpayers. All of these efforts, these proposals are to provide rigorous academic programs so these students have hope and opportunity for their future.
So you're probably asking, what's going to happen to my kids if they go to one of these elementary schools? Well, some of the plans are still unclear, but kids from Lacoochee will probably be moved to Cox, and students from Hudson may go to Northwest. And the last thing to mention to parents is do not freak out. If these changes do take place, you're going to get plenty of notice and time to prepare for the transition, Rob.
Let's hope so. Thank you, Elmo. Right now, FBI agents are looking for an accused bank robber. The agency says Myron William Ernst robbed a TD Bank in Lakeland. They say he walked in, passed a note to the teller saying he had a gun, and walked out with the cash and drove away in a dark gray Ford F-150 pickup truck. This robbery happened last month, but the FBI says he has been robbing banks across Florida and Alabama. They do consider him armed and dangerous. If you have any information on his whereabouts, please call police.
Charges against Adam York have been dropped. He is the former Tampa police officer that was accused of touching a woman during a traffic stop 2.5 years ago. The police department fired him because of the accusation and still stands by the termination. York says the accusations have ruined his life and his family's.
This is never going away. This is the rest of my life, and they've taken it all.
Our Tampa Police Department did an absolutely atrocious job in investigating this case.
York's attorney is casting doubt on the alleged victim's story. He says it changed several times. York's attorney has asked for a meeting with Mayor Bob Buckhorn this morning. He wants York to get his job back and says the city owes his client more than 2 years of back pay. This morning, Mikese Morse is expected in court. He is the man accused of intentionally driving onto a sidewalk, hitting a father and his 2 sons. This crash happened back in June. Pedro Aguirberry died in the crash. Today's hearing will determine if Morse is competent to stand trial. 10 News will be in the courtroom for the hearing.
Today, George Chronister is expected to be sentenced for aggravated assault. He's the son of Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister. Earlier this year, he got into a fight with a man and allegedly slashed him in the face with a knife. 2 weeks ago, Chronister changed his plea to no contest. The victim's mother wrote a letter to the judge asking for the maximum sentence. Also happening today, the Stoneman Douglas School Safety Commission will reconvene to look at the shooter's cell phone and internet search history. Tuesday's meeting will focus on the shooter's behavior and the 911 call handling. Detectives told the panel that most witnesses never reported the teen to the school or police before the shooting, but 2 witnesses did and nothing happened. Both administrators deny the meeting happened. Today marks 9 months since the Parkland school shooting where 17 people died and 17 more were injured.
Cooler temperatures are on the way, but will it have a big impact on the red tide bloom? Good morning, everybody. You are up with Bright Side, and you're halfway through the work week. Let's make this Wednesday wonderful. Check out this gorgeous shot from EarthCam of the Statue of Liberty in New York City. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Bright Side. I'm Candace Avilés. Here are your Wednesday headlines. George Zimmerman is sentenced to a year off probation in a stalking charge. He pleaded no contest to the stalking charge. Zimmerman was acquitted in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin in 2013. And the Metropolitan Ministry's holiday tent will have a blessing today. It is a special service that commences the season of helping those in need. They are ready to serve more than 20,000 families in Tampa Bay this Thanksgiving and Christmas. They are looking for donations from food to toys and anything that would benefit during the holidays. The blessing will start at 10:30 and run through noon. And later this morning, Sarasota County Fire Department wants to ensure residents have a safe Thanksgiving by sharing safety tips and demonstrating the dangers associated with frying a turkey. This will take place at Fire Station number 5 in Sarasota and will start at 10 a.m.
Amazing Thanksgiving. Next Thursday.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, today FWC is going to be releasing the first of 2 weekly maps on the red tide bloom, and it's still not looking great for our area. Friday's map showed a decrease of the bloom on the east coast of Florida, but you can see it's still causing problems in the Bay Area. There was a lot of respiratory issues being reported over the weekend. Bay Area beaches, many of them showing high to medium levels, basically from Clearwater all the way down to the beaches in the Sarasota area. When you go up to the Panhandle, the bloom increasing to medium levels in Gulf County. FWC again will release their most up-to-date map later this afternoon. We'll have more on that on 10 News this evening, Grant, but obviously, kind of feel like a broken record. It's still a factor out there.
Yeah, you got to hope that these cooler temperatures that will be moving in will have some impact on it. That's yet to be seen, but typically you would think that with less warmth, then those blooms aren't going to be able to grow. The algae isn't going to be able to grow as much. So we'll see. At this point, we just kind of have to take it day by day, week by week with that. We are finding a little bit of cloud cover over Tampa right now, but overall variably cloudy conditions. The clouds moving in and out of the Bay Area. We had a few showers overnight, but not finding that on the radar right now. Temperatures for you as you step out, 74 degrees in Tampa, dew point of 69, so your relative humidity up there at 85%. Temperatures around the rest of the region generally in the low and mid 70s across the immediate Bay Area. We've got a front draped right across the Bay Area, keeping some cloud cover around, and that has allowed temperatures to remain relatively mild. Meanwhile, to the north, 68 degrees in Chronister River. We also have 68 degrees in Lakewood Ranch, 66 in Wauchula. Whew, that's cold air hanging out over much of the United States. Look at Dallas this morning, 27. San Antonio, 27 degrees. Brownsville, Texas, 41 degrees. Right now. That colder air is just waiting in the wings. It's going to come visit us later this week, even getting here before the weekend. Here's the setup. We've got cold air in place. You can see snow possible over parts of Arkansas, Louisiana. Even Louisiana had some snow yesterday. This area of low pressure will begin to move and develop through the Gulf of Mexico. That will bring us an increasing chance of rain later this evening. So overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, the better chance of rain. That cold air gets wrapped on the backside of that low pressure system. It gets pushed in from this high pressure system. And then there you go, cooler flow going through the day tomorrow into Friday. Then it hangs out as we head through the weekend. We'll begin to see temperatures moderate a bit as we go through the weekend, a little bit warmer temperatures for Sunday afternoon. But the cooler air begins to arrive tomorrow. Low temperatures tonight will be around 68 degrees. Thursday night into Friday morning, 51, if not the upper 40s. Certainly the 40s for Saturday morning, and there you see those temperatures begin to rebound as we head into the day on Sunday. Again, those were your low temperatures. Cold air is in place, but that also means our high temperatures are going to be impacted as well. High temps this afternoon still in the mid-80s. No rain out there right now, but we will see those winds shift to the south as we go throughout the day. High temperatures will be in the middle 80s today, but watch your numbers here in the upper right-hand corner. We'll see a few scattered showers and storms out ahead of that front. As the front moves through, the chance of rain tapers off. The winds shift to the north and west. Temperatures only in the upper 60s for us through tomorrow afternoon. So that cooler air, again, begins to arrive through the day tomorrow. 84 is your high today, the last 80s that I see for any time in the foreseeable future. 72 degrees tomorrow, early chance of showers, and then we've got sunshine through the weekend, but just watch out. 65, that's your high Friday afternoon with morning lows, Hillary, Saturday morning. That's the cool morning. 48 degrees.
Wow, that is going to feel really cold. That's something where if you are a runner, it might feel good, but you're still going to have to bundle up.
Yeah. Sean Stryker actually is going to be out at the St. Pete Run Fest.
Yes.
Actually, we're training for it this morning, so he'll talk about that. We've got some tips coming up on how we can prepare for the cooler air coming.
That is going to be very helpful because a lot of us might not be super educated in that, especially if you're from here.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while for sure. All right, so time now is 5:16, and we are dealing with an early morning crash in Bradenton here in Manatee County, and it's unfortunately blocking lanes at this intersection, 14th Street at Cortez Road. So this right now is not causing a delay, even though there is a lane blocked right smack dab at the intersection. If it stays here in the next hour, we could start to see a slowdown, but it looks like it could be cleared before then. I will keep you updated here. And then just to the east on I-75, still in Bradenton here, right at State Road 70 heading northbound on 75. The right and center lanes are blocked right now for overnight construction, which should wrap up in the next 15 to 30 minutes. Usually they try to get that done before 6 o'clock. That is not causing a delay either because, again, it is very early and there's just not enough volume on the roads for it to cause any issues. Here's a live look in downtown St. Pete. I-175 at 275, the downtown interchange for you here. Looking towards downtown, no issues for you here. 275 looking quiet throughout Pinellas County. The I-4 corridor in Tampa, same thing, looking great here. Just wanted to help you out with the travel time. This is right by US 301, so near Hillsborough Avenue. 8 minutes is what it's taking you between I-75 and I-275. Just a heads up, during rush hour, this will get up to anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. And Polk County, good morning to you. I just checked with the Florida Highway Patrol. I-4 stays quiet, and so is Polk Parkway.
Florida, let's be honest, our reputation, isn't always the best. Whether it's our crazy crime, our crazy elections, or crazy weather, we're an annual contender for America's craziest state.
Yeah, that's why we're starting something a little bit new here at the station called What the Florida, to highlight some of the things that make our state so darn unique. And tonight, we're going to start with where Florida stands on the Equal Rights Amendment.
Congress passed the Equal Rights Amendment 46 years ago, but it was never ratified by enough states to be added to the Constitution. And Florida is one of a handful of states holding out. But with just one more state needed to hit the magic number of 38, could Florida be the state to tip the scales?
I think Florida is in play. I think a lot of places are in play now. There's more energy and interest in this than there has been in years.
We don't need any emotional feel good, we want to be in the Constitution. That's baloney. We're full American citizens and have full rights under the Constitution today.
Of course, it's a lot more complicated than that, but you get the idea. Tonight on Nightside, Phil Buck takes a deeper dive into the issue and looks at Florida's potential role in moving the Equal Rights Amendment forward.
The CDC is now investigating 252 cases of acute flaccid myelitis, up from 219 the week before. Health officials say there have been 90 confirmed cases of this mysterious illness in 27 states, but so far, no official deaths. The disease weakens muscles and can leave children with paralysis. The Food and Drug Administration is giving companies 2 years to stop using some artificial flavors. The 6 flavor additives on the list are used to create some of our favorite flavors, including cinnamon, spicy flavors, fruity flavors, or even hints of balsamic vinegar. When Brightside comes back, Michelle Obama takes to the road back home, and she doesn't hold back.
First Lady Michelle Obama kicked off her book tour this week in her hometown of Chicago. Oprah interviewed Michelle Obama in front of a full house at Chicago's United Center for the release of the former First Lady's highly anticipated book called Becoming. The memoir, which covers topics from a miscarriage to Mrs. Obama's time in the White House, holds the top spot on Amazon's bestsellers list. Most notably, Obama makes no secret of her feelings for the man now occupying her husband's old office, writing, quote, "Donald Trump, with his loud and reckless innuendos, was putting my family's safety at risk. And for this, I'd never forgive him."
It seems that whatever the Obama administration has done, it seems the current administration wants to undo. How do you handle that when you look at the work that you all have done?
You know, the truth is that the presidency's isn't ours to own, It's the people's job.
And in an interview with Gayle King today on CBS This Morning, Michelle Obama will also talk about the 2018 midterms. Now, Aubrey, I know you were talking about her book was trending Tuesday. What's trending today?
Yes, of course, everyone is still talking about Michelle Obama, rightfully so. That book has everyone going really crazy on social media about that. But today's viral video, if you're kind of slugging around, getting your start to the day, this video will surely wake you up. Take a look. Cannot make this stuff up here. A tourist managed to record a video of a tiger, yes, an actual tiger, chasing them while sitting in an open-top safari bus in India. Ooh. You guys, I get chills even just looking at this. The group was taking a tour of the Tadaba National Park in India, one of the oldest and largest national parks there. Luckily, no one was hurt, but get this, an official with the park, along with the tour guide, said the tiger was chasing them to be playful, and that if the tiger really wanted to hurt someone, it would have sped up and pounced on them. So everyone just relax a little bit. He was just playing with you.
gotta
there.
say that, right? They can't be like, it happens all the time.
You know, be
Haven't
like,
lost
yeah,
anyone
sure.
yet, but boy.
We call him Kitty, our furry friend. All right, so Game of Thrones fans, you guys are going to love this for today's trending. The final season of Game of Thrones is happening next year in April. HBO says the 8th season will have 6 episodes total. The network claims that the Game of Thrones series is actually one of its most successful shows.
Winter is coming. I'm so excited.
I know. Look, see?
April,
so
right?
clearly
April?
we have fans in the house.
All right.
Woo, woo. There we
Big
go. All right, so here's another interesting question. Does this doll really look like Idris Elba?
No.
Rob's like, no. Idris, that is clearly not you. So a British manufacturer actually is celebrating Idris Elba being named the sexiest man alive, and they created this doll. But fans are pretty mad on social media because they're like, man, this looks nothing like
it looks like
Idris.
his like weird uncle.
It looks like someone totally different. Get this, the doll costs nearly $1,000 because it was handmade. And the reaction on social media is pretty funny. Let's take a look at Gwenly saying, looks kind of like Montel Williams from back in the day.
There you go, definitely.
Totally.
And then Ty says, whole time they made a Romany Malco. Sorry, Idris. And then Rami, he actually chimed in and said, I can't compete with the internet today, man. Y'all win. Y'all win.
That's
Which
pretty
is
good.
kind of funny because he really doesn't.
No.
He doesn't look like Idris at all.
Idris
Are you
is going
kidding
to be the
me?
next James Bond, by the way. I'm going to say that until it actually becomes
Right.
reality.
Rob is excited about that. So yeah, kind of funny. He looks nothing like him, but he's sexiest man alive, so he's good. He's fine. Those are your trending stories
All right.
today.
Good stuff, Aubrey, as always. 5:26 the time. Good morning. Thanks for being up with Brightside. Happy Hump Day Wednesday. Getting there, closer to the weekend. Cooler temps headed our way. This is a live look in Thailand, courtesy of EarthCam. Looks like a kind of a hazy, foggy day there in Thailand. Stay with Brightside. We'll be right back.
September, October, November so far, warmer than normal. Today, yet again, warmer than normal. 84 degrees is our high today. The normal high is 79. Look what happens. As early as tomorrow afternoon, we're dropping below average. 72 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Highs on Friday, only in the middle 60s.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to get your seat warmer on. I'm feeling it. All right, this is the Courtney Campbell Causeway live from Sky 10. So far, so good on the bridges. If anything changes, though, I'll let you know, and I'll help you get out the door on time this morning.
50 people killed so far in the California wildfires, but that number could continue to go up as fire crews search the burned remains.
A dramatic uptick in hate crimes. We're looking at the new FBI statistics and why the FBI is concerned. Good morning. It is Wednesday, November 14th. Brightside starts right now. A group of lawyers in San Francisco have filed a lawsuit against PG&E on behalf of several victims of the Camp Fire. The cause of the fire is still undetermined, but the suit alleges that the utility company was negligent in failing to maintain its infrastructure.
50 people, at least 50 people have been killed by these fires so far. Down south near Los Angeles, firefighters are slowly making progress battling the Woolsey fire, which is being blamed now for at least 2 deaths. That again burning in Southern California. And CBS's Tom Hansen is in New York with more on what residents in both parts of the state are now facing.
Search and rescue teams in Northern California are sifting through the charred town of Paradise.
They're looking for the remains of bodies. If there is any organic matter that is still existing other than, burnt bones, then the dog can smell it.
They've brought in cadaver dogs and have a rapid DNA analysis system to quickly identify victims. Butte County Sheriff Corey Honey says residents will face a grim reality when they return home.
Even after we've searched an area, once people get back in there, it's possible that human remains could be found.
It's unclear how many people are missing. Chardonnay Telly has not heard from her father, Richard Brown. She found his home burned to ashes.
My dad's a survivor, and he's been through war and so many things, and there's a possibility he could have made it through this.
500 miles south, firefighters have made progress battling the Woolsey fire. Some neighborhoods were reopened, and residents were able to see if their homes survived.
We can have Thanksgiving here.
Others are not as fortunate.
I didn't expect to see this. Didn't expect it to be gone.
And as Ventura County Fire Chief Mark Lorenzen noted,
we are not out of the woods yet.
Officials don't believe they'll have the Woolsey fire fully contained until Sunday.
Just heartbreaking. Yet another brush fire has ignited, this one in San Bernardino, that's east of Los Angeles.
Yeah, right now it's up to a relatively smaller size. It's only a 20-acre blaze right now. More than 8,000 firefighters are currently battling fires in California, in the northern part of the state and the southern. And I want to send it over to Grant Gilmore right now. Grant, you know, I was reading this morning and we were talking about the fact they could get some rain.
Yeah,
then,
not until next week, though.
Right.
Not until next week. So several more days. A huge concern.
Yeah.
Right. You think about all that charred land and all that brush, you know, not providing that root system to give the anchor for the soil there, because if it starts raining, then it's just the landslides. But here's what Rob's talking about as we go into next week. More of a southerly wind coming in, so that marine air coming back in for Southern California. Snow and a lot of rain expected for the mountains and into parts of Northern California. That's the concern, though. You get rain on dried and parched and charred soil and then landslide. We'll talk more about this change in the pattern coming up during the 6 o'clock hour. In the meantime, we have our own change in pattern to talk about. No rain this morning, a few clouds here or there at the bus stop, looking good. 73 degrees. Sunrise this morning is at 6:51. Scattered clouds. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day, mainly dry conditions through a good portion of the day. In fact, I think only a 20% chance for a stray shower for the ride home. The better chance of rain will develop overnight tonight, and that's when our weather pattern begins to shift as well. Forecast is on the radio. Our radio partners are the Dove 105.5, the Eagle 107.3, Hitland 106.9 in Sarasota, and Magic 94.9.
Good morning. Let's get a check of your bridges now at 5:34. I'm Hillary Zala. Here's a live look at the Courtney Campbell Causeway. So State Road 60, just west of Bayport, looking east. So looking towards Tampa. This is the Pinellas side of the bridge. And you can see as traffic heads into Tampa, it's very quiet and your travel time is 8 minutes between McMullen Booth Road and the Veterans Expressway. So that's from the Pinellas side right as you get onto the bridge and then over until you hit the Veterans Expressway on 60. Our other bridge I want to show you is the Sunshine Skyway, and this is a cool shot because you can see the waves of the bridge. So this is right near one of the fishing piers looking north, so towards Pinellas County here. Traffic going away from the camera is north, traffic coming at the camera south. It is taking 15 minutes between Pinellas Point Drive and 75 in Manatee County. Rob.
All right, Hillary, the FBI released its annual hate crimes report for 2017, and it showed an increase since 2016. In 2017, we saw 17% more hate crimes than 2016, according to new stats released by the FBI. 80% of victims were targeted because of either their race, ethnicity, or their religion. Several high-profile violent hate crimes have gripped the nation in the past few months, from the shooting deaths of 2 African Americans at a Kentucky supermarket to the killing of 11 worshipers at a Pittsburgh synagogue. Another worry for groups who follow these numbers is that oftentimes police departments do not report hate crimes to the FBI.
Uptick, one of the largest upticks in the history of hate crime reporting, is really one that gives us and other civil rights organizations grave concern. We know that there's historic underreporting. We know that there are over 90 cities across the United States that have populations of 100,000 people or more that reported 0 or nothing.
All right, so more than 16,000 police departments nationwide gave data to the FBI to make this report.
Imagine working your normal job only to be killed while doing it. That's what happened to Jamel Roberson. While working as a security guard, a police officer is accused of shooting and killing him at a lounge just outside of Chicago over the weekend. Roberson was detaining a shooting suspect when the responding officer shot him. Jerika Duncan has this story that is all over your Facebook feed.
Justice for Jamel! Justice for Jamel!
Friends and family members in suburban Chicago are demanding accountability after the death of Jamel Roberson. Early Sunday morning, police responded to gunfire at Manny's Blue Room Lounge, where Roberson works security. Roberson had a gun and was holding a suspect when he was allegedly shot by a Midlothian police officer.
He was just protecting the club and holding a suspect down.
Roberson's mother is now suing the officer and the village of Midlothian for compensatory damages in excess of $1 million. In the lawsuit, she calls the shooting unprovoked and unjustified.
He was wearing all black with references to security on him.
Gregory Coolis is the attorney for the Roberson family. He said the officer used unreasonable force.
People are telling him that he's security. he's security. As he raises his rifle, he is told he's security, and he still shoots.
Roberson, seen here playing the organ, was nicknamed Choir Boy because of his passion for gospel music.
He played organs for a lot of churches on the Chicago West Side.
Neighbor Taisha Stewart says the 26-year-old was well-liked and proud of his job.
You'll always see him with his security shirt on, coming in and out.
Here's a young man who is not a thug. This is a young man who went to work and did his job, and he gets shot by law enforcement. I think that's a tragedy.
It is unclear if Roberson had a concealed carry permit, but Coolis says he did have a firearm owner's ID. Midlothian police did not immediately respond to our request for comment, and the officer involved is now on paid administrative leave as state police investigate. Roberson leaves behind a 9-month-old son. A family member says Roberson had dreams of becoming a police officer.
And again, Roberson was the father of a 9-month-old son. He and his son's mother were expecting their second child.
Happening today, the Indiana teen who's accused of shooting 2 people at the Noblesville West Middle School is expected in court. The 13-year-old boy admitted to shooting the teacher and a classmate last May. Today, the judge will send the boy to either a state juvenile center or a private treatment facility. And for the second straight year, President Trump will skip the annual Kennedy Center honors in Washington, D.C. A spokeswoman for the First Lady said that the president did not provide a reason for skipping this year's event, but the honorees this year do include Cher and Lin-Manuel Miranda, both of whom have been outspoken critics of the president in the past. Keeping it in Washington, the GOP still trying to figure out leadership positions in both the House and the Senate after last week's midterm elections. Right now, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy of California could lose his title to Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio. The party will also vote on leadership in the Senate. Meantime, Democrats plan to hold meetings and vote on new leadership, including the speakership later this month.
On your mark, get set, go. Runners will be racing through St. Pete this weekend, but first they have to train before they make that mad dash. Good morning. You are up with Bright Side. You are halfway through the work week. Let's make this Wednesday wonderful and check out this Earth Cam shot of Dubai, where it is sunny and a gorgeous 86 degrees. Now let's get moving. Local runners are getting in some last-minute training ahead of the St. Pete Run Fest. Brightside reporter Sean Stryker will be logging some miles this morning, just what I like to see. Sean, what running tips do you have for us?
All right, so yeah, number 1 tip is don't take advice from me. Other than that, make sure your shoes are tied. So right now we're just we're doing our warm-up, then we're going to start running around the track here. Someone you do want to take advice from, Jana with the St. Pete Running Company. Good morning, how are you?
Hey, good morning, good.
So we are warming up right now. We're getting ready to do half marathon training. This is the last installment before the St. Pete Run Fest. How do you train for a half marathon? I mean, it's a pretty big endeavor.
Yes, so if you're training for a half marathon, it's a build up for it. So hopefully you've started already, because there is a process in building up for a half marathon and getting the training in leading up to it. We kind of think you should be doing long runs, speed work, of course, and then just a few other runs throughout the week to get your body ready for it.
And we can see there's a group over here. They've been training. This is a 10-week program, so this is the final workout before the St. Pete Run Fest, which is this weekend. And there they go. I'm going to join them in just a second. What tips do you have for someone that may be running this weekend? Maybe it's their first race, maybe they're a little nervous.
Yeah, so for people who are doing their first race this weekend, a great tip is to, at the race, start out slow. Everyone feels great at the start line and at the beginning, and everyone takes off really hard, so hold back. Save that energy for later in the race or closer to the end of the race. It is a long race if you're doing the half. And then another couple tips are take fluids or calories, whatever you need to keep your body being able to do the whole 13 miles. And then stay happy, stay positive.
Happy,
keep
have
those
fun.
positive thoughts in your head. Thank the volunteers, of course, and cheer other people on while you're out there. Encourage the other runners while you're out there.
Well, we're talking about, of course, the St. Pete Run Fest. It's happening this weekend. It's a 3-day festival. The fun kicks off Friday. There is a free health and wellness expo that runs through the weekend. The 5K, the kids run, is on Saturday. The 10K and the half marathon, that's on Sunday. What's really cool about that is that runs through Tropicana Field, which is a really neat experience. Awesome. I know these guys and girls out here, they are ready for the race. You guys are ready for this weekend, right? They are ready. The question is, Grant, I know you are ready. I hope. But everyone wants to know, how's the weather going to be this weekend?
Well, that's
right
the
now,
thing,
I'll tell you,
Sean.
it is perfect out here.
It's perfect now, and we've been training in these warmer temperatures. I'll be running the half marathon on Sunday as well. But here's the thing, Sean. It's going to be, 20, 30 degrees cooler as we go into the weekend than it has been recently. So any tips for us there, Sean?
It has been. You know, just be prepared for the cooler temperatures if you have been training in that warmer weather. If you want to wear maybe a long sleeve or some long pants, just be aware that it is going to be cooler. But for me, that's absolutely perfect.
I know a lot of people love that. For
Yeah.
them, that's a perfect running temperature.
Yeah, it is.
Cooler,
It is.
you know.
But when you're used to running in this severe heat, it is a big difference.
Yeah,
it is. Just be getting prepared for that. Even like breathing and everything, I'm sure it even changes.
Overall, it'll probably benefit, I think, a lot of the runners
so too,
with it. I mean, look at the forecast, guys. We've got it here for you. The weekend as we go is going to be absolutely fantastic. I will say, though, you still want to get that good warm-up. You think when the warmer temperatures, your muscles are able to warm up a little bit more. So with temperatures Saturday morning in the upper 40s, highs in the low 70s, it's going to be chilly out there. And then Sunday morning, as we get ready for the half marathon and the Trop 10K, 56 is nothing to sneeze at there. That's cool. You want to get a good warm up there, get ready to go, and you guys know how to do it. It's going to be a good time out there. You can tell by the runners out there with Sean. The runners, a different breed, right? Happy at 5:45 in the morning, screaming, having a good time, and that's what it's all about. Let's talk temperatures here. So this morning, feeling great. Temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. You're in good shape this afternoon, mid 80s if you're getting that last run in before the weekend race. It's going to be another warm one, very similar to what we've had recently. The cooler air begins to arrive as we go to the overnight. So does some rain, showers overnight, temperatures dropping into the low 70s. But watch, temperatures really don't warm through the day tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll be in the mid to even lower 60s. So cooler air arriving throughout the day. Temperatures will struggle to climb at all throughout the day tomorrow, and then they just continue to drop. Thursday night into Friday morning, these are your low temperatures. Upper 40s to lower 50s, lower 40s to the north in Crystal River. That's chilly, yeah. And then Friday afternoon, high temperatures will be in the middle 60s once again. So Friday will be the coolest day overall. We'll see some cold temperatures going into Saturday morning as well, and then everything begins to moderate through the weekend into next week. We're at 74 right now in Tampa. Here's the colder air. It's just waiting for us. It's sitting there. It's like, here I come. I'm waiting for you. Low pressure, that moves out of the western Gulf of Mexico, and that's what begins to usher in that cooler air. Once the cold front moves through, here comes the colder air through the day tomorrow. High pressure settles in, and that'll give us the sunshine through the weekend. We just have to begin to prepare for the chance of rain building ahead of that cold front tonight into tomorrow morning. Allergy forecast does not change one bit. Low to medium pollen counts over the next several days. Let me walk you through the 7-day. 84 degrees today, 40% chance of showers late this afternoon into the evening. That 30% chance of rain will be through the morning hours tomorrow, gradually clearing throughout the day. I think the second half of tomorrow will have a mix of sun and clouds. And then Friday, there's your cool air. 51 to start, 65 degrees Friday afternoon, even cooler Saturday morning with calmer conditions, 48 degrees, 71 Saturday afternoon. And then temperatures moderate, still actually slightly cooler than average into the beginning of next week. High temperatures will be around 77 with low temps right around 60 degrees.
All right, it is 5:49. I'm Hillary Zala. Let's get an update on traffic now. In Manatee County in Bradenton, we still have a crash at the 14th Street intersection with Cortez Road. And this is our only crash this morning that's causing a lane blockage. So you do have a lane blocked right at that intersection. And then just to the east on I-75, we still have crews working construction here on 75 northbound at State Road 70. Looks like the right and center lanes are still blocked, but this should wrap up in 10 minutes because that all should be finished before 6 o'clock. It's not causing a delay though, so that's good news. We can see 275 here in Hillsborough County at Bierce Avenue is definitely picking up in this southbound direction. You can see downtown Tampa off in the distance. So you can see here that although it's picking up, we're not seeing a delay. You still have that beautiful travel time of 15 minutes from the north apex down to I-4. And that will pick up to about 25-30 minutes during rush hour. The I-4 corridor in Polk County, same thing. Looking quiet, although it will pick up soon here in about an hour. So this is just west of Kathleen Road in Lakeland, and it's taking you 12 minutes between Polk Parkway east and west there. In Pinellas County, no crashes are reported. I checked with the Florida Highway Patrol for 275. And then US 19 here, just noticing a slight slowdown north and south here near Palm Harbor, right near Curlew Road. Just an early morning delay on our Wednesday morning here. So coming up right after the break, we are celebrating a national day today. Apparently a viewer told me it's National Teddy Bear Day, but we're celebrating another one, and it's one of my favorite foods. So you'll have to stick around right after the break.
Welcome back to Brightside. Dill Garlic Kosher Sweet. Those are just some of the different kinds of pickles out there on the open market.
Which means you have options to pick from since today is National Pickle Day!
Yay! How about
According
that?
to the
We've never been so excited about a day.
So excited.
Okay, so the term pickle is actually a Dutch word that means brine. Each year, Americans consume 5.2 million pounds of pickles.
That's a lot of pickles.
And Cleopatra attributed her good looks to her diet of pickles.
You know, we don't really know if she was good looking, though. All we have is statues.
Caesar, hold up, fed pickles to his troops,
And
believing
carvings.
that it increased physical and spiritual strength.
Wait, what's the thing about
So
Julius
every
Caesar?
one of us. So he thought it made you stronger.
He would give his troops that stuff to make them stronger?
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys love pickles?
I love pickles.
I like pickles. I'm not a big pickle fan.
Yeah, I love them.
They're delicious. Throw that on a charcuterie board with some cheese
Ooh,
and
isn't
olives.
that fancy?
Oh my God.
Explain that to the viewers who have no idea what that is.
Oh, you know what a charcuterie is.
Cheese
Cheese
and
and
crackers,
meats and
nuts.
It's also National Spicy Guacamole Day.
Yeah.
Don't read my line. That's my line.
Bro, you weren't saying it,
I'm
so I
supposed to
picked
say
it up
that
for
line.
you.
Not a fan of guacamole.
No,
It's National Spicy
Next story,
Guacamole.
This is what
I
we're
already
waiting
said it.
for.
It's fine.
Chick-fil-A is now delivering from more than 1,000 of its locations around the country. The fast food restaurant, best known for its chicken sandwiches, is partnering with delivery service DoorDash to start the program. It's giving away 200,000 free chicken sandwiches. Guys, I'll see you.
We should have said that first. Are you
Delivery-
kidding me?
And I'll see you later.
But there is a catch here. Deliveries are only made within a 10-minute radius of locations.
Real quick, anyone ever
Wait,
get
what?
got by the Sunday no open thing?
Yeah.
Every time.
Always
You want
gets
it on
me.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Every
It
time.
is, you know?
Yeah.
I always
The
want
struggle.
That's the
I'm
worst.
excited that we should order here. Oh wait, we're not 10
I
minutes within a
flew
Chick-fil-A.
into Tampa once at the airport, and there's a Chick-fil-A
Well, I'm
in like
gonna
the
Google
Blue
that.
terminal, and it was a Sunday when I arrived,
Yeah.
and it was closed, and I had been looking forward to it for the entire flight.
I know.
That happens too.
They know what they're doing.
Places
Oh.
closed on Sundays.
Devastating.
Yeah.
All right, Grant, getting closer to that cool
You know,
down.
they got pickles on the Chick-fil-A.
Flights?
Well,
Oh, I saw that. On the chicken
yeah,
sandwich.
the chicken sandwich, they got pickles there, so it's fitting. Hey guys, 84 degrees this afternoon, 40% chance for a couple of showers late this afternoon into the overnight, 30% chance of rain early tomorrow morning, and then clearing throughout the day tomorrow. 72 is your high tomorrow, 65. I don't see 80s in our extended forecast after today. I mean, beyond the 7-day forecast, we're talking long range. Not
Is that
seeing
Saturday low in
Nice.
Celsius?
No, that would be
Bust
really
out those
warm.
long sleeves.
Wow, would it? Yeah, really warm.
Yes,
Like normal,
yes,
like
no.
48 degrees. All right, stay with us. More Brightside coming up at 6.